Manchester United open to Jadon Sancho return. More murmurs about Eric Ten Hag's future. And will Manchester United return for shock Bundesliga striker? These are some of the stories we will be discussing on the show this morning. But before we jump into that, please smash the like on today's video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let's get straight on into it. So as I always like to do here on Daily Red Devil, we'll start with some positivity. And I wanted to say congratulations to Marcel Sabitzer, who was obviously on loan at United last season, and Jadon Sancho, who have just qualified for the semi-final of the Champions League. And I saw a stat this morning that said Jadon Sancho is the first Manchester United player to qualify for the semi-final of the Champions League since 2011. Now, you're probably thinking, what the hell are you talking about? But Jadon Sancho is still technically a Manchester United player. He's just on loan at Borussia Dortmund, isn't he? And this stat just shows how much we've fallen off. The fact that the last Manchester United player, or the only player since 2011 who belongs to Manchester United to play in the Champions League semi-final is Jadon Sancho. That's crazy, isn't it? It's absolutely mad, but it's hardly surprising when you see where we are at this current moment. But congratulations to both of them. I know a lot of the fan base don't like Jadon Sancho for obvious reasons, which I agree with, but still, fair play to them. And Jadon Sancho appearing in that game and starting and contributing only puts his price up. So that's a positive bit of news for us this morning. So moving on from that, let's talk a little bit about Manchester United's plans for the coming window. So this is coming out from Sport Bild, a German outlet, and they are reporting this morning that Manchester United are still looking at signing Stuttgart striker Serhou Guirassy and are now apparently ready to pounce on signing him this summer. He was someone we were literally linked to every day for the whole of the January window, was it? And the summer. Like, it was constant. Every week, Guirassy. We didn't get him. He had a release clause this season. He's been really, really prolific again. So, I mean, he's had an incredible season. I'm just looking now. He's got 25 goals in 23 Bundesliga matches. So averaging a goal more than every game. So he's had a really, really good season. 28 years of age. I still would be open to getting this guy in. I think he does look decent. I don't know whether he still has his release clause. I know in January he had a release clause. Yeah, it was only in January. So I think if Manchester... Actually, no, it says it here. It says Guirassy's agent has revealed that his release clause will be valid again in the summer for the same amount, 17.5 million euros. So he'll be available. He was available in January for 17.5 million euros, and he'll be available in the summer for 17.5 million euros. Now, if you think 25 goals in 23 games and you're only having to invest about 14 million pounds, that's incredible. That's really, really good business. And I think that, yes, he's not a Benjamin Sesko. Yes, he's not a Victor Osimhen, but for 14 million pounds, he's a really good replacement for Anthony Martial, because obviously Martial's going to leave the club. We know that. His contract expires. Martial's on £250,000 a week, right? There's no way on earth Guirassy would earn anywhere near that. So even if you just take Martial's wages at Manchester United, Martial earns about 12 to 13 million pounds per season at Manchester United, right? To effectively sit in the injury room or sit on the bench. He doesn't play. He's injured 95% of the time. So Martial's paid 13 million a season, right? Martial goes, you then go and buy Guirassy for 14 million. Okay, that's good. You know, that's only 1 million difference if you look at it like that. Obviously, you'd have to pay Guirassy's wages, which I can't imagine being particularly much. You know, he's not going to be earning crazy money over in the Bundesliga. Let's have a quick look. So in the Bundesliga at the moment, Guirassy is currently earning about 50,000 euros a week. So even if you gave him, say, 70, 80,000 pounds per week, it is pocket change compared to what you're paying Martial. Going from a 250 grand a week striker in Martial, who doesn't contribute anything, to a maybe 80 grand a week striker in Guirassy, who's got 25 goals in 23 games. So I think it'll be a good signing. Is it my dream signing? You know, do I stay up late at night thinking, oh, I'd love Guirassy at United? Not really, to be honest, but we've got to be realistic. We need, in my opinion, probably 8 or 9 players this summer, because so many people will leave. We need 3 or 4 world-class players, you know, really, really, really top players. But then we need squad players as well. And for me, Guirassy is a squad player. He's someone who can come in and will offer more than Martial for less money. So it's a no-brainer. You know, when you think that we need a midfielder, we need a centre-back, we probably need a left-back, maybe a right-back. Like, those are all the priority positions. We need a first choice centre midfielder, a first choice centre back, a first choice left back probably because Luke Shaw's injured all the time. And then you've got Rasmus Højlund as the main striker and you bring in Guirassy as the backup. I'd be happy with that. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Guirassy to Manchester United, £14.5 million release clause. Would you do it? Yes or no? Let me know your thoughts below. Right, let's move over to the manager really quickly. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I feel like a lot of these shows have been consumed with talking about Erik ten Hag. But the story this morning is that apparently, as it stands, as of recording this video, so on the 17th of April, the two favourites to replace Erik ten Hag, if he is to be sacked, are Graham Potter and Roberto De Zerbi. Those are the two favourites at the moment. Obviously, people talk about Gareth Southgate. He's with England until July at the minimum. England want to keep him there. I don't think Gareth Southgate's going to come personally. And the fact that, Graham Potter and De Zerbi are the two next favourites, or are the favourites, it is quite worrying. The story then goes on to say that it is understood that Ineos really admire Nagelsmann, but it looks like he will be joining Bayern Munich. So, in short, just to summarise what's going on here, right? Manchester United are probably interested in Nagelsmann. He's probably their number one target. Nagelsmann's going to Bayern Munich, so he's off the table. And then it's either Roberto De Zerbi or Graham Potter. Roberto De Zerbi has a release clause of about £12 million at Brighton. To sack Erik ten Hag and his staff is going to cost you about £10 million. So you're talking £22 million minimum to sack Erik ten Hag and bring in De Zerbi. Whereas Graham Potter, obviously, is without a club, so you could bring him in for nothing. So, yeah, that's where we are at with the manager. Feel free to let me know your thoughts on those two managers. Would you like to see them replace Erik ten Hag, or would you give Erik ten Hag a bit more time? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Right. Next up, we've got Jadon Sancho. And the story this morning is that apparently Jason Wilcox, who is going to be Manchester United's new technical director, is apparently open to giving Jadon Sancho a second chance at Manchester United. Now, what do I think of this? I personally think it's a bad look to give Jadon Sancho a second chance. I think, he effectively not only disgraced the manager, he disgraced the fans, he disgraced the club. Putting out a statement on Twitter and then refusing to play and refusing to apologise, I just think that's embarrassing. I'm sorry. So, yeah, we're not going to spend too much time on that. The story also then goes on to say, though, that Jadon Sancho has apparently not given up on playing for Manchester United again. He says, with Erik ten Hag's future looking increasingly uncertain, should Erik ten Hag go in the summer and a new manager come in, sources close to Jadon Sancho insist he would be open to returning to Manchester United and starting again. So effectively, he's saying, if they sack Erik ten Hag, he'll come back. I mean, that makes me want Erik ten Hag to be sacked even less, to be honest. That to think that next summer, Jadon Sancho will be back, not putting in any effort, and Erik ten Hag will be gone, and the process will repeat again. So for me, I think that's a massive no. Get rid of Sancho. Even if you can only get 30 million for him, 40 million, I would take it at this point. I know that's a massive loss on what we paid for him, but that's just how football works, unfortunately. It hasn't worked with Jadon Sancho. He wasn't good before Erik ten Hag joined. So for all those people sat at home saying, oh, this is Erik ten Hag's fault, he was rubbish before Erik ten Hag came. He wasn't even getting picked when Oli was here. Like, he's not been very good the whole time he's been at Manchester United. So it's not like we've ever seen an informed Jadon Sancho with any of the managers. He was rubbish for Ragnick, he was rubbish for Oli, and he's been rubbish for Erik ten Hag. So for me personally, get rid of him, cash in and move on. But obviously feel free to let me know what your thoughts are on Jadon Sancho below. Now, a bit of more of a topical bit of transfer news for you guys. This is coming out from lots of different journalists over in Brazil. You've always got to be careful with the Brazilian journalists because a lot of the time they are putting they're trying to encourage transfers, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? Like the amount of Brazilian players we've been linked to in the last 2 or 3 months. We're going to sign this guy, we're going to loan him to Nice, we're going to sign this guy, and we're going to do and it never seems to happen. So take this one with a pinch of salt. The story this morning is that Manchester United are apparently targeting a transfer for Grêmio winger Gustavo Nunes, 18 years of age, predominantly a left winger, can play on left wing, right wing, and attacking midfield. Looks decent. I watched a couple of videos on him this morning. I'll be honest, until about an hour ago, I'd never heard of the guy. The same as all the other Brazilian players we've been linked to in the last kind of 1 or 2 months. I don't know. I would be open to these types of deals. I would love for us to start bringing in people from, Brazil that haven't yet got that big move. Like, that's what we should be doing, but I just don't think Man United would do it personally. But we'll wait and see. It's one to keep an eye on. Gremio winger Gustavo Nunes. Final story for the day is about Anthony Martial. Obviously, we all know that Martial is leaving, and apparently Tottenham are interested in signing Anthony Martial on a free transfer this summer once his Manchester United contract expires. I mean, they're welcome to him. I hope they prepare the injury room for him, because that's the only place he'll be. So, yeah, not bothered about that whatsoever. But I'm going to wrap the video up here, guys. Let me know your thoughts on everything we've discussed on today's show. If you have enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, get involved in the channel. This has been Daily Red Devil. I'll be back live at 6 p.m. UK time today. Have a great day, everybody, and speak soon.